FlyGuyTruccerBoiTV.
How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Mr. LaRue, man. It's been a long time coming, man.
Yeah, I'm supposed to been done this.
Yeah, man. You been bush, you know. What's going on, man? Talk to me, man. You in town, man? You just got in town. Where you coming from?
I didn't slid out to a spot I never thought I would be on the East Coast.
On the East Coast? Okay. Prior to being on the East Coast, let's back up a little bit. What was you doing, man? Right before you went to the East Coast, what was you doing? Well, we all know you in the trucking game, in the trucking industry.
Well, we was just finished the conversion of the day cab into a dump truck. Just started moving in that lane.
You converted your day cab into a dump truck?
Yep, my first truck.
Okay. And then you bought another truck?
Yes.
Is that a day cab as well?
No, we stepped up and got a sleeper.
A sleeper. So, okay. So you on the East Coast now, running your dump truck?
That's where the money at. Trump took the money out of California, put it into the red state.
To the red state?
So that's where we at.
Okay, let me ask you, what are you doing with your sleeper? Your sleeper is still over here in California?
It still moves around on the west coast.
What type of work are you doing with your sleeper?
Right now it's flatbed.
Flatbed. So I assume you have a driver, another driver?
They come and go, but yeah.
Okay. Well, you said they come and go. Why is that?
Lack of motivation, thousands of different reasons. But the bottom line, don't nobody want to work on a consistent basis.
So it's hard to find drivers out here.
It's hard to find a good driver.
Now, what is the downfall of having a driver, which of course, these mega carriers, these bigger companies, of course, they have hundreds and thousands of drivers. What is the downfall of being a small business owner and having a driver or two or three, as far as your driver is concerned? What can they do to...
I could answer.
Huh?
I know where you're going with it.
Yeah. What could they do to hurt you, should I say?
Everything that the driver does in your truck, under your authority, under your insurance, all lands in your lap, the owner's lap.
Okay. So have you had any experiences as far as a driver that you put inside your truck and they were driving your truck, and any mishaps?
I've had a Mike Tyson combo, I would call it, back to back.
So can you give me the scenario in which whatever occurred?
A driver simply not stopping at a scale, going through the scale without doing a pre-trip. Neglect is the word. Doing a trip to Arizona, for example, want to come back the same day. Well, what do? Not use the log, not use the electric ELD. Come back through the scale and just so happen to get pulled in.
Okay. So it cost you. How did it cost you?
We have what, all truckers know is a safety score.
Right.
Well, that shoots your safety score up. Once your safety score goes up, you're pretty much fair game to DOT, Highway Patrol, sort of like a bad jacket on your record.
Okay, some smut. All right. So what ended up happening to you? Did you get put out of service, or what happened?
He ended up getting 2 out of services within a 10-day period.
Ooh, that's ugly.
That's more than ugly. That slowed everything down.
Okay.
To a snail's pace.
So what was the consequence?
The consequence is your score goes up, your safety score goes up, and then companies don't want to mess with you as far as pulling their freight.
Okay. Yeah, that's not good. So how did you wiggle out of that situation, or have you?
There's no wiggling out of anything when it comes to the federales. DOT, FMCSA, they don't switch up. Their punishment, their rules are their rules. So this will be on my record for 2 years, for sure.
Right.
I actually had one out of service with a driver that the highway patrol never filed the actual ticket.
Okay.
But being that it got onto record, it will stay on record for 2 years.
So you made a transition, man. You went out of state, man. What state are you in right now? I know you're currently back and forth from another state to California. What state are you in right now doing your other work?
Like I said, I'm in the red state, Virginia.
Virginia? What part of Virginia?
Richmond.
Richmond, Virginia? Okay. And so you converted your day cab into a dump truck, so you got your dump truck out there. How's that transition, man? Did you go out there and get a room, or how do you live out there?
Yeah, we went straight to a hotel until we was able to find a house.
Okay, so you rented out a house or Airbnb or what have you?
Right, we went out as a crew, and we stuck together as a crew.
How many people are in your crew?
4.
Okay. So currently, are they still out there?
Yeah.
And you just flew back to California to take care of some business for the holidays and to do some more work on this end, or what?
Gobble gobble day. East Coast, this is winter season. Everything slows down. Virginia is a place that rains periodically, probably almost as much as Hawaii.
Okay.
So that affects the movement of dirt and asphalt within the dump truck game.
Right. How's the rates, the money? How do you get paid? Like, how do they pay out there as far as the dirt industry is concerned?
I would say it's the same as it pays out here. The benefit is our fuel is less.
Okay. So you make more because of the fuel being not as high as over here.
Expenses and everything. California's what, 9.5% on the average of taxes? We're 6.0 out there. So fuel, residency, parts, everything. Every dollar counts, especially during the slow season.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, man, getting off the subject of trucking, I was talking to you recently and you were mentioning Bitcoin, man. How's that going, man? I hear a lot of people talking about Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is what we would call the grandfather of coins. Bitcoin was one of the first that I ever heard about. Probably walked past a little machine that looked like a versatile machine in Las Vegas, and probably just thought it was just that, just a vending machine. It was actually a Bitcoin machine. You hear stories about people that dropped a few dollars in there. I would have to throw this in. We talk about a lot of stuff between each other, but those are conversations that we never talk about. Financial stability, growing something that you heard that might get you on the map, take you to another tax level. Those what our conversations need to be about.
Right.
That machine, we bypassed it because nobody talked about it till after the fact.
Right.
So the ones that did get in and put a little something in there when Bitcoin was 0.00615, well, when it bubbled up to where we at now, I haven't looked at Bitcoin in a while, but I believe it's about 100K on the average a coin. So do the math.
So you would say it's a success in Bitcoin right now at this point?
If you got in
At that time?
at that time,
Okay.
it's more than a success. It's a game changer.
And what do you think about the housing market in general? I could say throughout the states, but I'm gonna ask you about California. What do you think about the housing market? I know you're an older individual, so how has the housing market changed from some years back up until right now?
Well, for example, my peers who parents passed away, say within the last 10, 15, 20 years, are all probably sick today. Why are they sick? They sick because their parents passed away and they couldn't wait to sell the house. Got rid of the house that their parents probably bought for, say, $75,000. It's worth a meal ticket today.
You might have like a 2-bedroom house that's worth $1 million, something that you could have got for dirt cheap way back in the day.
Well, I'm sure that is how it went.
Right.
They bought that house originally. Great granddaddy bought that house for $30,000.
Wow.
Today, like I said, it's a meal ticket.
Why do you think the housing market, why do you think these houses are so much in California? I mean, it used to be at 200,000 and 3. Then throughout the years, man, it went from 4. Now it's down there at $6,000 and $7,000 just for a regular 4-bedroom house, if that. You know, why do you think it's so high? All these new builds.
Nothing goes down. Nothing. Fuel, housing, material, few words that we as people probably learned, tariffs.
Right. Most recently.
Yeah. Everything brings the value up.
Right.
Never judge a man by the cover of his skin. Only treat a man by the contents within. Some are changed man when they gone off their gin. Let them sober up, then they sorry to the end. Sorry won't win, cause a fake I can't defend. Done your time in the Halls County Jail and the pen. It's kinda hard to keep away from my kids again. It's Russian roulette when you follow the leader. I don't wanna be getting fed, I wanna be the fucking feeder. It's poison out here and these cats will cheat ya. Befriend you like a friend, but a foe and a creature. Get you before you get me, it was nice to meet you. What you get for thinking that a student can teach you?
Do you think having a house, because I've had this conversation with a couple of individuals most recently, do you think as a person wanting to have a house, wanting to own a home, do you think that's a wise investment at this point in time, just to purchase a house just to live in it? Or what do you think about that? What would be your input on that, man? With somebody that's looking to buy a house right now, and I'm only asking because it's a lot going on with the trucking industry, with people's financial situations. A lot of people are renting, living in apartments, and but you have those that want to buy a house, and it's so hard because everything is so high right now, man. What would you say to somebody that was looking to buy a home right now, just to live in, versus maybe somebody that was wanting to buy a multi-family unit in order to obtain some passive income?
Well, the way I see it, for I don't even know if there's still a middle class among us, but a house is probably the most expensive purchase a middle class family or person would buy.
Right.
The way I was raised, real estate was always an investment. Everything is a play. That's the real estate play. Accumulate property, accumulate houses.
But for the wages and the jobs that are out here, because a lot of people have jobs, and then you have those that have careers. do you think for the average person that's working a job, do you think having a home to call their own, do you think that's obtainable right now?
Anything is obtainable. I mean, the last housing crash, they made it so obtainable for us. You know, made the bottom line so small they couldn't read it, which is how HUD came back into play. And you know, another word that we learned in the in the 80s. Having a job or a hustle, I wouldn't purchase a home. A job or a hustle is temporary.
Right.
That would be a stress factor for myself.
So just a person having a regular job, you wouldn't recommend them making a home purchase?
I don't know. At my age, no. You know, my mind is set on the no stress express.
Right.
That would be a stress factor.
Yeah, major. You don't know what tomorrow brings.
Exactly.
Everything is, you know, like a teeter-totter. What do you think about the trucking industry right now? You know, I hear so many different things. It's good, it's bad. I mean, you know, it all depends on the individual, maybe what lane you in, but is it bad because of the rates? Is it inconsistent, or is it bad rates and a lot of consistency? Like, how do you view the industry, the truck game right now?
Right now, the trucking industry is in limbo. You know, you've heard it. You know, some of the things that we hope actually come to fruition. The smogging, the mandatory death systems.
Right. Which applies in California.
Which applies in California. Applies elsewhere as well.
Okay.
But it's not as
Mandatory.
Mandatory. It's a good word for it.
Mm-hmm.
I've only been in the trucking game for a little over 3 years.
Okay.
But I think I've learned enough to say that right now the trucking game, if someone asked me, should they get into the trucking game, my response would probably be no.
So, would it be okay to go get a trucking job for a company? As an individual, go work for a company and do it that way, or you don't even recommend that?
Oh yeah, a job is a job.
Right.
You know.
But being an owner, having your own business, you don't recommend that somebody go purchase a truck and, you know, start their own trucking company?
I wouldn't invest today what I invested almost 4 years ago.
Okay. All right. Yeah, man. It's crazy out here, man. What do you see as far as your business is concerned that gives you that that thought process to where you would tell somebody, hey, don't do it?
It's nothing in California right now that will provide enough jobs with the amount of dump trucks that are registered and ready to hit the streets in California. It's no way. One, we were flooded with dump trucks.
Right.
The fires came.
You talking about Altadena, Pasadena fires?
And Palisades.
Palisades.
Yes.
Pacific Palisades, right.
No different from the PPE and all of the other loans that came out during COVID. Everybody got a chip, everybody bought a truck, everybody got an LLC.
Right.
In a nutshell, we walked into that game backwards. One, everybody didn't need an LLC.
Right.
One needed the LLC, everybody else needed to fall up under.
Right. Everybody played follow the leader. One person, two person, three person got an LLC, and three other people said, "Hey, let me go get an LLC." But everybody can't manage a business and process everything the same way that somebody that would need one would do it, or that should have one would do it.
We've been programmed as a people to be the crabs in the barrel.
Okay.
They make sure that we are against each other. So the scenario of let me fall up under you never even runs across a lot of our minds.
Right.
It's what am I gonna do different to beat you out?
Right. So all for self.
All for self.
But the Hispanics, man, they do it. They bunch up together, man, and run it, man, all up under one. You know, like anything else. But I mean, you know, they've done that with the housing. You know what I mean? They take a living situation, and you know, you have one or two people, and everybody else come, and they all fall up under that person in the same household, and man, and they bubble up. They got cars, property, and everything. But you know, us as a people, we just want to do everything ourselves, man. It's because of the trust. The trust has been broken. It was broken a long time ago. We don't trust each other, and that's why we choose to do everything by ourselves. But can you really advance doing it like that?
You could get somewhere. What that somewhere is, it's not enough.
Right.
It's not enough to create a legacy, unless you just were the first one to, you know, create the microwave. You know what I mean? It's they done what they done, the Hispanics, because like I said, their whole mindset was this was an investment. This was an investment and an advancement.
Right.
You know.
The Indians did it too. And I don't mean Indians like American Indian. I mean like people from like Pakistan
Middle
and
East.
the Middle East. Yeah, Middle Easterns. They out here running deep, running thick.
It was an investment. They found their niche. You know, we joke about it, but everybody found their niche. You know, the Asians got the warehouses. The Indians got your AMPMs in your gas stations. And I'm sure it goes way better than what my minute mind has wrapped around. I'm sure it's way deeper than that.
Right.
California is a melting pot. You know, everybody comes here. Everybody's able to get the free money. You know, we won't go all into that. You know, everybody can get the free money, but we can't get a dime.
Right.
But it's not always. That's only part can be partly used as the excuse. The other part is the money that we do get. What do we do
with it? Right. Yes. It's not what you make, it's what you do with what you make.
That part.
I wanted to talk about all these individuals that have lost their CDLs or got deported. A lot of people got X'd out the game. Do you think the fact that all these drivers are getting arrested or X'd out the game, put out of business, CDLs revoked, do you think that will change the game for us, bring the rates back up and bring more opportunities to the trucking industry?
Well, of course, that's what we're all hoping for, that the ripple effect would do just that. 17,000 Californians stripped of their CDLs. It should have an impact in the freight business, in the trucking business itself.
Right.
How long will it take for us to see that? I would say we're seeing a little bit of it already, but I think it's a lot more to come.
So if we're seeing it, a little bit of it already, in what sense are we seeing it?
Freight prices within Amazon alone. I would say some of that is from the deletion of drivers.
Right.
Not just because it's holiday season. You know, we're in the beginning of December. This is the season that we call slow season. But when I look at the dashboard, I see numbers that are peak numbers.
Got it. Man, let's talk about Trump, man. What do you think Trump is out here doing for the economy, or is he doing anything? And when it comes to this trucking industry that we in, how do you feel the industry will go when it comes to Trump? Do you think he'll make any greater changes to help us out as truckers, truck drivers, business owners? Let me know.
I don't believe nothing they say until it comes to fruition. And I haven't heard him say anything solid that he was going to do for us.
Okay. What do you think about the state of the world right now as a whole? And then you can break it down for us, United States.
As far as the world, I can't really elaborate on that. For the United States, I think we're going to hell in a handbasket. Hoping Trump doesn't get to have his way with everything. But between him and what we call the 3%ers, they're having their way. I think it's a lot more that's going to change. But then again, as a backdrop, I'm a conspiracist, so I could take this conversation all over the place.
Right.
But it's all a chess game, man, and they really implementing a chess game of deletion, of ownership as Americans, bringing us to a state of
dependency.
That is the exact word. Dependency. Yeah, but like I say, I could take it all over the place. But yeah, control. You know, they're solidifying control.
Wow. Like the new world. That part right there. Family life, man. How do you balance family life with all that you do, all the hustling that you do, all the bouncing around, moving back and forth? How do you balance that? And how important is family life to you as a hustler, as a business owner, as a truck driver? And what is your end goal when it comes to this trucking? What are you trying to do at the age in which you are right now?
Family, hustle. If I could do it all over again, I would probably do it a little different. I would say our young men, my young men, didn't get enough of me in those important years. My work took me all over.
So your children didn't get enough of you as a man and as a father because you were always busy working, trying to chase that paper.
Correct. Well, as far as trucking, as long as you're not OTR, I don't think it's a big effect on the family, because you're home more often. You're able to get them to football practice and everything else.
Right.
You know,
College.
college.
Right.
But then, is the 9 to 5 quick job gonna get them into college and university and out of state dorm fees and the food package and
Right. Because everything's so expensive.
everything is so expensive and all of that comes with college.
Well, what about mentorship, man? Have your kids derailed or detoured into a certain lifestyle because you've gone so much? How do you keep track of that, and how do you instill what you need to instill in your children so that they'll walk a better path than maybe what you had walked? Or because these kids are dealing with so much out here with these other kids, and they're living so fast and doing so much, and you got drugs and guns and everything else, man, and that just the influence is powerful.
That it is. I would say for our kids that are easily influenced, it's not good for the man to be outside of the home. But let me also say, the man can be in the home, instill all that needs to be instilled, and a kid still
Gonna do what they want
to be
to
as
do.
curious as we were.
Right. That was gonna be my next question too.
Yeah. Our job is to equip them. Our job is to be there. Our job is to be an example. How much of it is received, how much of it is implemented in their life as they grow up, I would say, as I watched mine, I've watched two different versions. I have one that carved out his own path. I had one that damn near followed my footsteps chronologically, to a certain extent. But now I'm watching him find his way, You said family, as a parent, of course, we do not want our kids to go the same path that we went. Our job is for them to surpass us,
Right.
in all aspects of life.
Right.
All of mine are on their path to do so.
That's good. That's good. Boy, you know what this is? It's a pink slip to that Freightliner. It's been a minute. I've been waiting on this. Pink slip, ownership, no payments, buddy. Dig that.
No payments.
So, how important is it, and I know you just made a comment, how important is it to have a two-parent household? I know that a lot of us have detoured, a lot of us have been out the home. We try to make certain things work. Certain things don't want to work. Certain things don't work out because two individuals don't want to compromise. One is going one way, one is playing tug of war, pulling, going the other way, and then one person ends up leaving, and then you don't have that one person in the household. Man, how important and how hard is it to parent when you don't have two parents in the household?
Nothing's better than a two-parent household until it becomes messy. Parenting from a distance, like I said, I've done a lot of work being in different states and different areas for certain amount of times. It's hard to discipline or teach a kid something from a telephone.
Right.
So nothing's better than a two-parent home.
How do you feel about relationships right now in our culture? What do you think about relationships and the state of relationships when it comes to our people? It seems like we just don't want to get along. We don't want to build together. What is your take on that? and what is your experience in dealing with it?
I think it's so many layers of untrust that a relationship is more of a shady business deal.
Okay.
I'ma eat everything I could eat out of you. You gonna eat everything you can eat out of me. Once we deplete each other, we end up going our separate ways.
Because that's when the drama kicks in.
Right.
So I've heard a saying that it's okay to use somebody, just not misusing them is the key. So I feel like a lot of us, we're out here misusing one another instead of coming together as a unit and listening to the lead, which is the person with the blueprint, and building together with one another. I feel like everybody's for self, just selfish,
Seems that way. Not to say that it started that way. I'm a true believer that a lot of times we create the monsters within our mates from our actions.
Okay. What do you think about marriage? You think it's been destroyed? You think, people aren't getting married anymore? Or how do you feel about marriage? Have you been married?
A couple times.
You've been married a couple times. So is it the same? It's definitely not the same as it used to be. Our grandparents and aunties, great aunties, so on and so forth. Uncles.
Well, it's completely different. They hung on to the Malcolm X phrase, by any means necessary.
The truth till death do we part.
Right.
So you think is there any value in couples getting married anymore?
Yes, it's value in it.
Okay.
It was one of the first covenants that God created.
Yeah.
Was marriage.
But the world is so fast right now. People are so promiscuous and just having a lot of sex and just their minds are not there. And what I mean by that is attention span. People's attention span is just out the window right now.
Everything has snowballed from the dumb phone that we call the smartphone. Everything is built today to take us away from how it used to be.
We have all these options, social media. With the click of a finger, you can meet people and talk to people. Do you think that's destroyed us?
I think it's shaken up the reality. You could be whoever you want to be on social media.
Right. Basically living a facade.
In a nutshell.
If you choose to. Wow. In your mind, do you feel as though, because you're in the trucking gang, the trucking industry, do you feel like people that are trucking or maybe having other jobs, do you think a person needs to have another source of income, another hustle? And if so, in order to survive in today's times, how many hustles do you think a person should have in order to even gain anything in life?
Well, from the stuff that I read, it is said over and over again, we need to at least have 5 streams of income coming in.
That's a lot.
Everything we buy, everything we do is a lot. So it take a lot.
There's no end to it. It's kind of like a dog chasing his tail.
Yeah.
What are your plans for 2026? Or have you really thought about it? Do you have any plans for 2026? Anything that you would like to do or venture off into new?
Anything new? No. Do I want to perfect what I'm playing in right now? Yeah. Everything is in limbo right now. It's hard to make a decision on what that next play is going to be outside of what I'm already tapped into.
So you have 2 trucks. Do you plan on getting a 3rd truck?
Possibly. That depends on what 2026 holds. That depends on what the economy's going to do.
So basically, you're just gonna play your hand accordingly. You don't want to jump off into the deep end and not knowing if it's a rip current coming through, gonna sweep you away.
Exactly. Can invest on the unknown. Not at my age.
So, age is definitely a factor out here when it comes to decision making. You know, what am I going to do and how I'm going to do it? Because let me see, I'm this age, so I ain't got too much time to play with.
No more time to play with. We ate all that playtime up already.
Yeah, you know, we were lied to, man, and we got ourselves involved in a whole bunch of bullshit that we shouldn't have been in, man. You know, that's still spilled milk. We can't cry over spilled milk, but definitely got to pick up the pace like picante sauce, man, and start really doing things that count. We don't have no time to lose, no time to play, and we can't play with a person or people. In other words, we can't surround ourselves by people that aren't playing fair. You know, everything counts right now.
Playing fair, and that's all about some calculated moves.
Right. Definitely want to be around people, and I would encourage people to be around other people if you are going to be around some people that have a sound mind and a like mind as yourself, man. That's the only way you can get somewhere if you're going to deal with other people. And of course, you got to deal with other people because we don't live in the world alone, you know. And concerning the network factor, when you're out here networking, man, you know, you got to network with people, man. That's how you get to where you need to be. You got to network, you know, bump shoulders, you know, rub elbows.
That's how we've learned up to this point. You gotta put yourself out there.
So I'm quite sure you know a lot of people in the industry. Have you seen many of them disappear, fly away in the wind, throw in the towel?
A lot of them are gone. Never to be seen.
So what about those that you've been in touch with, like your comrades, your trucking comrades? When you refer to people being gone, are these people that you know?
Some that I know. I don't know where they at and what they doing. I know they're not in their trucks though.
What took them out the game?
We talked about it a little bit before about everybody didn't need to get an LLC.
Right.
we should have fell up under someone else's LLC to where we created a powerhouse.
Right, and that's, I believe that's pride. Just somebody wanting to be their own person. Pride, wanting to do it yourself.
I think we've been programmed that way, to move that way.
Do you think it's out of fear?
You said the word earlier, trust.
Yeah.
It's a trust factor.
Fear to trust.
It's a trust factor. Even after laying out a foolproof plan within the trucking game, to fall up under one's authority, create a powerhouse to where any of us could walk into any establishment and ask to haul their freight, as opposed to me walking in there saying I got one truck and I want to haul all your freight. Well, that's a joke.
Yeah.
So
They're gonna look at you like you crazy.
So we came into the game not knowing the game.
Got it.
Once we learned the game, nobody wanted to play the game right.
Right. And I think too, a lot of it is mismanagement. A lot of people see money that they've never seen before in this industry, and they just get to spending and spending and spending. They really don't save. They don't put up. They don't invest properly. And next thing you know, they go from having a large sum of money to having nothing. And now they can't pay their bills. Their trucks are getting repoed. It's just money management, man. And that's life within itself too. A lot of people suffer from mismanagement skills.
Business 101. Everything you make within your first 5 years of business should be saved and or invested back into the business.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, it's a dog eat dog world out here, man. It's a cold industry, man. But we still hanging on. We're gonna continue to hang on until we either get better at what we're doing or we move on to something else that's gonna create a different and better avenue for us for success.
The trucking industry is an awesome industry.
I agree.
If you could find your lane, find your crack, find your niche in it, that person can do well.
Got it. So that just goes back to saying, man, hey, you wouldn't advise somebody to get into the game, but if someone has a little bit of game about themselves, some smarts, some wisdom, and are eager, determined, structured, and disciplined, they can still win out here.
You can still win.
I was just telling somebody the other day, man, how I love trucking. I love the trucking game. I love the hustle. I love jumping in that truck. It gives me a peace of mind. And then I have those days to where I'm like, man, fuck this shit. I can't wait to get up out this goddamn truck. Excuse my French. Parlez-vous français, you did? Real talk, man. It's just like a person being bipolar, man. One time you feel this way, and the next time you feel that way, man. And then I feel good again, and I get my motivation back, and I'm ready to jump in that truck again, man. It's crazy, man. It's kind of like a good and bad relationship, but everything has to have a balance.
Everything has to have a balance. It's one of the hardest things to do when building a business. The balance. You talked about family before, building a business and family and kids, and making sure you're there for from the itty bitty boo boos to the football practice to the to the piano performance.
Right.
It's not easy. It's not for the weak.
Not for the weak.
It's not for the weak. On top of everything that they continue to throw at us, and I'm in the trucking game, so everything that I talk about now is about the trucking game. They continue to hit us with these fireballs. That's just built to knock us down. I believe they want us to all become company drivers and do away with owner ops.
Yeah. Well, you know, we are the ones who make the world go around, man. You know, that's just like law enforcement, man. What would we do without law enforcement? What would we do without truckers? You know what I mean? It's crazy, man, the way they treat us with all that we do. We just important as law enforcement, if not more important, I would say.
I agree. That's the $1 million question. How do we get the blunt of the BS when we make the world go round? The police couldn't have what they got
Without
if
us.
we didn't get it to them.